You on time.
Man, you know, hey, black people time. We on time. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. You know, yeah, we on time. And
Celebrating life. We celebrating life. We enjoying ourselves. Positive vibes. Glass in the air. I'm making a toast to the ones close to you that hate you the most. Genocide mind. I'm breaking the code. Street safe, erasing the code. Cold of the street mean prison to death. No home strap, equipped for the best. Seen dude eyes closed and he died slow. Pop the wall, I'm Michael Jackson with the wide nose. Shed so many tears that my eyes swole. Too much to lose, so I gotta stay in grind mode. My eyes open, no blindfold. Got a sight, had a mind when the time goes. Yeah, mama planted seeds in me to shine more. Out of the soil of the inner city I rose. But beyond a fence when I was looking for something. Now my car go wrong with a push of a button. Got some haters in the city that look at me funny. I don't ignore them, I just pray for them. Now I'm gonna be great, got royalty in you. Offspring of a king who slaughtered his children. God's soldiers front line who joining the mission. Salute with both hands as we form position. Pay attention with elders trying to give you some wisdom. The devil come in the form of men, women, and children. Look in the mirror, see the real opposition itself. Trying to break the chains of mental prison and jail. Looking at heaven, feeling like we are living in hell. That's the highly favored, but we ain't living it well. Salt on me, slow motion, smooth to the snail. Swimming in salt water, heart beats a whale. Shout out to my convicts that live in the cell. Correctional officers, please stop giving them hell. Do a time, come home now, better person. I'm still DB, just a little better version. Giving knowledge to the youngsters to let them work it. Acting out on the inside, they really hurting. The devil lurking, trying to hinder you from your purpose. Too many clowns around. This is not a circus. That's why I had to change the scenery. Less dirt, little more green. Feet up on the beach, enjoying the weather. Changing mindset, we can enjoy it together. Work for the most high, improve forever. When they get tired, still don't get fired. New house, new car, I'm a new man. A new bread, I got a few plans. I hold you up in my shot glass, yeah. All goblins from the stock crash. About to deal Wall Street, respecting me now. 6 figures with it, I'm more acceptable now. Got people mad cause I'm not available now. Started out in front of me, they trailing me now. Rolling their eyes at me, yet staring me down. With the kingdom and I ain't sharing my crown. Made my own deal, so I'm still independent. On the cruise ship, soon as we finish the business. Come down the finish, stop pretending you winning. When you really get me, you're winning from the minute you get it. That's the shift to your paradigm, yeah. Like not a sprint, it's a marathon. Carry your own weight, I carry mine, yeah. If you're proud, not verified. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You don't got my back, don't get a spine.
She had a dream that she could do it, and how she lost her way and didn't stick to it. She wanted the house, the cars, the money. She did all that she could. In her mind, she was so focused, doing overtime at the diner. Just wanted someone to want and dine her. She didn't believe in herself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't. You can. She was diagnosed with cancer, going to the doctor for some answers. They said she wouldn't make it, she couldn't take it. She did all that she could, getting sick from the chemo. Bank account started looking real low. She knew she could make it, she wouldn't take it. She believed in herself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Yes, you can. Let nobody tell you that you can when you can. You can make it. Yes, you can. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. Believe in yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can.
Black love plus black dollars equals black power. Black love plus black dollars equals black power. This is your boy, Black Jesus Minister, the Ecclesiastes 3 Christian. Be sure to subscribe to our brother, your brother, Brother Bakari on YouTube. Brothers and sisters. Peace, Brother Bakari.
Yeah. Believe in me. Grieve for me if I'm gone and carry on your own. You way stronger than you think. Ain't no safety if it ain't safe. Headshot or the base. Cut the head off the snake.
So today we have an interview with David Benton of BeyonDaFence. I'm going to show my face today because we are doing an interview. And he's going to tell us how he got the name BeyonDaFence. And we're going to let him tell a little bit about what he do and his music. So the artist y'all just heard, the first one you heard, that was actually him spitting. And the lady in the chat, Shay Samuels, is how Peace Queen, how you doing? That's how I met him, by standing out in the public talking this about her some coffee and was talking about this. And she told me about this brother. So I want to give him an opportunity to tell you, so he can tell you about himself here today and why BeyonDaFence. And this is something that we need to support. We always talking about the music industry, and this is a brother that's out here. They're doing it on their own, they're independent. We talk about the music industry. So since we talk about the music industry a lot, what we need to do is, when we find great artists, people that's doing it out here, doing it on their own, let's support them. And that way we don't have to worry about what the music industry and how they're going to treat us. Let's go. What's going on, man? Introduce yourself, my good brother.
Hey, what it do, man? What's going on, brother Corey? Man, I'm David Benton, founder of BeyondDaFence Enterprise. And you know, it used to be Beyond the Fence Entertainment, but you know, we always say we're more than entertainment because it's so much more than just music and you know, the puppet part. We about building leaders. You know what I'm saying? But so we changed it to enterprise because we're so much more than music. So yeah, man, Beyond the Fence came because I was behind the fence. You know, I was behind the fence. I was in federal prison for 13 years. And 13 years and 2 months. You know, I was a young man when I got incarcerated, man. You know, drugs. I got incarcerated for drugs. Also being in the gang. I was a vice lord. So I went in a boy, man. I came out a man. So it's like I was behind the fence, and now I'm beyond it. So we all got fences we trying to go beyond, right? You know what I'm saying? Like David's fence was Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Jesus' fence was the cross. Somebody else fence might be drug addiction, alcoholism, whatever you're dealing with. We all got fences we trying to go beyond. So now it's like it's not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. So I want to help everybody go beyond their fence. So that's why we call it Beyond the Fence. Man, I remember my first cellie, you know, I was complaining about a 15-year sentence. I was like, man, people gave me 15 years. Man, I can't believe these people gave me 15 years. And I was complaining. And he was like, youngster, don't worry about it. Sit down. You know what I'm saying, man? You good. You short. I was like, man, did you hear me? I just said they gave me 15 years, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even been gone long. How long I got left? He's like, man, let me see your paperwork. He showed me his. Mine said, all right, 2015. That was the out date. His out date said deceased on it. In the federal system, there is no parole system. So he was like, man, you have a number. So go out and make them pay. You know what I'm saying? Educate yourself. Prepare for home. So that's what I did every day, man. I prepared for home. You know what I'm saying? I worked out, you know, got my body right. You don't look like that no more, but you know what I'm saying? At the time, you know what I'm saying? I really was getting my body right, reading a lot, praying a lot, meditating, being around different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even matter the religion. You know, I walked with the Christian brothers, but man, whether it was Muslim, whatever you was, man, it was all love with me. Buddhism, I learned a lot from these guys. So man, that's, you know, they're part of helping me go beyond my fist because them brothers still going beyond theirs on the inside. You know, a lot of them free in the mind. So it's like you can have a body, but you can have a mind. So that's what I want to teach people. Stop being so bamboozled and captivated by what they see on the big screen. You know, stop allowing the TV control your narrative, control your own. So that's Beyond the Fence, man, David Benton. You know,
Sorry, I'm muted. So let me ask you, right? So what you say doing time, right? You
yes,
say you did 15 years.
13. I had a 15-year sentence,
Uh-huh.
but I did 13 years and 2 months on the 15-year sentence.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So you did 13 years in 2 months. So being behind the fence, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what helped you being behind the fence? That showed you that helped you see some of the mistakes that you made. So when you get out, you wouldn't do the same thing. Is that what helped you make us see another path for yourself?
Man, one thing about prison, it brings out either the best in you or the worst in you. It's just a better you. You're either gonna be a better villain or a better hero. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking within yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can give victory over yourself, or you can make yourself fail. So prison just enhanced who you currently were before prison. Because here's the reality: I was an adult. I knew what I was doing was illegal, man, but I still took my chance. You know what I'm saying? You know, I felt that I didn't give a fair share of life. That's just how I felt personally at that time. You know, I was a young man, so I was like, man, I don't want to work for them. They not going, you know, I don't have no trades. You know, I don't really know too much. I just know the cliche things. You know, I was good at sports and I was good at rapping and entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But that's even sports is entertainment. I could cut hair. You know, it's because, you know, mama really couldn't afford that much to get me a haircut, but she did what she could. So, I mean, she was going to pay for the haircut regardless. But the person that she taught me to be was be independent. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to cut my own hair, take that load off my mom. I'm not saying she just neglected me. She ain't never neglected none of us. So when I went in, man, I knew what not to do. I was already a grown man. I was 25 years old. I was an adult. I was an adult when I got locked up. So when I went in, I just became a better me. You know what I'm saying? The Bible say, like, train a child up in the ways of the Lord. When he get older, he won't depart from it. You know what I'm saying? My mama instilled that in me. You know what I mean? So it's like with that, those principles, I just enhanced how I was taught. So I just became a better person. I already knew what to do. So I just did what I was encouraged to do, man. Just prepare for home. Don't use this as an excuse to fail. Because you can always develop, man. It's just what you want out of life. Can't nobody make you do nothing. You got to get to a point. One thing about the feds, they got this thing, when you take a plea, right? And they give you, it's a point system. And they'll knock off points. It's called acceptance of responsibility. Man, it's crazy how they put you in a chokehold. They put you in a chokehold, you know what I'm saying? So they think it's acceptance of responsibility. So it's like when you accept responsibility, man, for your actions, that's when you can just really grow. You know what I'm saying? You just got to understand, man, did nobody make me do what I did. It was a conscious choice, whether it was manipulation or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether I felt I didn't get the better end of the deal or not, I still knew that I was doing some illegal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pay that price. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? Even though things happened the way it did, with me and people, people talk about the street stuff and who telling and who not. And the point is, if I wouldn't have never participated in that type of activity, I wouldn't have never went to prison like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I control my own narrative, and that's what it was, a dope boy, gangbanger. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home, I still got the same mentality. I'm just more mature. You know what I'm saying? Like, every dope boy don't make good money. Most of them broke. I was just one that made the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was an entrepreneur. I just had the wrong product. You know what I'm saying? So when I came home, I just had to get the right type of product because I know I'm a prosper. I know I'm a soar. That's just how it is, man. It's just how life is. You gotta have a good work ethic.
It's funny you say you was an entrepreneur, but you had the wrong product. You know what I tell people all the time, right? And I really believe this. Some of our best business minds amongst our people is, like you say dope boys. I use the word, like Amos Wilson said, our brothers and sisters that run that underground economy. Just some of our best business minds, but haven't nobody shown them how to do it the right way. And I was talking, I think, even if you find the ones, I would say that back in the day when crack, right? Ones that sold crack or weed, the boss, they had workers, they had people on the corner, they had employees, they had somewhere where they kept they knew how much to order. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right,
They knew which block, in which area, how much weed they selling over here, how much pills they selling over here, and they knew exactly how to distribute it, how much to order it. If you talk to them, you hear them talk, they may not use what people would call professional language, or they may not use the words that you would use in an office setting, right?
Right.
But you know what they're talking about. You understand? We know what they're talking about. So I want you to touch on that about the business mind of some of our people that was on it, because it's obvious you had that business mind because you came out, you got a BeyondDaFence enterprise, and you're independent and you're doing your thing, right? So when you talk about the business mind of a lot of those people that's working in the underground economy, and is it possible, right? Like, I find some neighborhoods or communities or whatever, the underground economy, I'm gonna use what Dr. Amos Wilson called it, the underground economy. For example, Miami was basically just built on what they would call the underground economy, that whole city.
Right.
Is it possible, or do we find any of our people that's in that business, right, using the underground economy, helping to build up Black people? Do you think it possible that we could reach out to some of them and they could invest, like in legal ventures, I guess? Or is that hard for us to do?
Well, to be honest, man, you know what I'm saying? Because of what our people in the past have been through, we still reaping the repercussions of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people, like for instance, I'm gonna tell you, man, like when they freed the slaves, right? People gotta understand the slaves didn't own no land. Where they gonna go? They own no land. What they gonna build? They own nothing. So guess where they gonna go? Back to where they're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Back to their, you know, their owning, right? And a lot of them never grew like what the skills we had back then. It was taken away from us. Why? Because really them was the jobs. We was keeping everything up. You know what I'm saying? So now a lot of those jobs and a lot of those skills are still a part of us, but we don't have the knowledge to them no more. Right. So now today, you know what I'm saying? Only thing we see on TV what success look like, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, we see entertainment. Only thing we look success. That's what we see. You know, they paint what's pretty, what's not pretty. You know what I'm saying? They paint what success look like, what success don't look like. And it's up to us as a people, man, to really break free from a certain traditional mindset that we was programmed with. Understand, man, when the best time to program you is in your infant stage. How you think it's so easy to believe in the tooth fairy and in Santa Claus? Why? Because you tell the people who that child trusts the most is telling them the lie, which is their parents. They're gonna believe their parents. Why? Because they depend on their parents. So they're going by their parents' word. And it's now in their subconscious, man, that their parents really lying to them. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a trust, a bond that's really having a disconnect instead of a connect. So with our people, man, we really just gotta wake up and understand what is and what's not, and stop being bamboozled by what we think is, if that makes sense.
Muted myself again. You know what? Yes, that makes absolute a sense, right? So consider put in, she say free what slaves, the prison system. Well, consider you was a little late. He just spoke on him doing 13 years in prison. That's why he's called it Beyond the Fence, uh Beyond the Fence Enterprise, because he said he'd been behind the fence. Now he's on the outside of the fence. So let me being independent, right?
Yes.
We spoke earlier, right?
Mhm.
And I know you said one time you was offered some money for a record deal, right? And we
Yes.
all know this industry. So
Mhm.
explain how important it was for you to be independent.
Well, for one thing, you independent, man. It's like it's in your control how you want to move. Like I do want to say this to the young lady. When I say slave, it's a mentality. It's a spiritual thing too. You could be a slave of your own thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to help people break free and go beyond their fence. But you know, with with this, man, with being independent, you know, it got a false narrative on it. You know what I'm saying? Because when people say independent, they put everybody all in one pot, and everybody different from everybody. So me being independent, it's just having control of where I want to go and how far I want to go. Like I'm not gonna compromise my integrity, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, Understanding somebody offer you $1 million to do something, understand it's just a bank loan. Fees, people are struggling trying to get signed. I want to get signed. But if they're not giving you $1 million, they let you borrow $1 million, and you're gonna have to pay back about 1.5 or 1.7, even more. It's interest. They selling you money. You know what I'm saying? But on that $1 million, you still got to pay taxes. So how much are you gonna be able to pay back? So if you go in debt and you can't pay that money back, y'all
Yes,
wonder why people be going crazy.
something like the movie Cadillac Records, right? When
Yeah.
Howlin' Wolf. I don't know if you ever seen that movie, right?
I seen it, but not a lot of times. You
You
know what I'm
know,
saying?
I watched it because when they talked about Muddy Waters, right? Muddy Waters' sister
Right.
was my godmother, so that's
Mm,
my godmama, his sister. So
okay.
so I watched, so I did watch it a few times, and I could see some of the stuff they added in and all that, right? But anyway,
Right.
when Howlin' Wolf first went to Chicago and he pulled up in his old raggedy truck that was paid for, right?
Yeah.
And the white guy that owned the record label, Muddy Waters, pulled up in his Cadillac, right? And I remember that's basically all he had. I seen him come to my home in Mississippi in that Cadillac, right?
Right.
But anyway, in a Cadillac, not necessarily that one, but in a Cadillac,
Right.
But they offered Howlin' Wolf some money, and they offered him a car. Muddy Waters was like, well, you know, everybody get one. And Howlin' Wolf told him he shouldn't. And Howlin' Wolf told the white guy that owned the label was, I don't borrow enough. I don't take from the house. Just pay me what you owe. Right. I don't want. My old truck right here is paid for. It's good enough. So basically, that's what you were saying. I don't want to take nothing from the house. I know what I'm worth. Pay me what I'm worth, right?
You give up your leverage.
Yeah. So if they're not paying you what you're worth in being independent, even though you was explaining about independent, but being independent, you're more in control, right? You're in control of what you do. The money you make, you probably worth more than that. But you know, you in control of what you make and where you go and where you do and where you do your concerts and events and everything at, right?
Yes.
You choose the people that you want to be around you, like Shay, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the record label didn't get the opportunity to do that. So you did that, and we appreciate that. So when we talk about this industry, well, I'm gonna say it again. So when we talk about this industry, right? When we find brothers and sisters out here that's independent and they doing their own thing and they on their grind, let's support them. See, that's the purpose of this. That's what I call this mind our black business, right? So we can support one another. This is our business. I'm not gonna benefit economically from means financial. I'm not gonna get a check from us supporting you, right? But we support you. You can be in position to do two things to help other brothers and sisters. So that's how I feel that we have to start looking at it.
Yes, man. With BeyondDaFence, I'm gonna tell you, like, as far as the enterprise, man, like I be trying to tell people, like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm David Benton. I'm my mama's baby first. You know what I'm saying? I'm a father. I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? I'm that first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just happen to have a talent and a gift to rap that people encouraged me to keep going because they was inspired by. So I kept going. I'm getting paid to be my natural self. We got a company called Let's Talk Business. You know what I'm saying? And what we do, man, we consult, we teach, we and go to About Building Leaders. You know, aboutbuildingleaders.com. That's what we do, man. We build leaders. We ain't trying to keep people up under us to keep babying. We want to build a community, but it starts with your mindset first. If you don't accept responsibility.
You say about building leaders? Because I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Not about building leaders.
Okay, about building leaders. Okay, now you continue. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, it's called Let's Talk Business. I appreciate that, bro. It's called Let's Talk Business. That's what we do, man. We build entrepreneurs. We ain't trying to build workers, man. We ain't trying to do that. But you do got to be a good worker. And everybody is not everybody is the leadership of themselves. So everybody got leadership qualities, but you might not be able to lead a flock, but you definitely supposed to lead you first. You know what I'm saying? So we want to show people how to be a better individual. And then when you're a better individual independently, then collectively, you'll be more effective. But you got to be a better you first. You know what I'm saying? You got to focus on you, man. We praying to God to say, God, change me. Nah, man, God gave you the ability to change. You got to change you. Stop taking that responsibility off yourself. So over here, BeyondDaFence, that's what we do. It's character building too. So if you want to listen to DJ G Will, you know what I'm saying, who's a BeyondDaFence artist, we got a comedian, Tommy Two Toes Baker. You want to laugh? We got him. We got Shay Samuels, awesome singer. Miss Alma E. Neely, Tanya Caesar, DB Jr. You know what I'm saying? We got a family. And shout out to everybody, man, who are part of the team and everybody who affiliated. Elation Network. Shout out to Elation, Kimmy Kim now. You know what I'm saying? So we grateful, man. And that's what people got to realize about focusing on yourself unselfishly, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you know what? I have somebody I want to put you in touch with. You ever heard of Phenomenal Seafood? Because the
No, sir.
reason I'm mentioning him because of it's out here. It's not far. I'll give you the information. It's a
All right,
black
cool.
owned seafood spot, and every Friday they do live comedy show in his restaurant, man. So maybe y'all can get in touch and you can get your comedian in there. I'm just saying, you know.
Let's do it.
I sure will give you that information. And what you just said about building leaders and what you're doing, hey, Cassandra, with your ram in the bush, this sister who you were speaking to about saying something about slave. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, y'all need to stick because she has something called ram in the bush. And if you have time before the interview is over, I want to ask people if they want to ask a question, right? If you have time to
Absolutely.
answer a question.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I would love for Shay, if she in the chat, to put a 1 in, and I'll put the link in for her since she's the one who made sure we met. And I would love for
Right.
her to come up here as well. But
It'd be good.
you and Cassandra, y'all need to talk so y'all can discuss Realm in the Bush and what you're doing about buildingleaders.com. And I'm telling you, what you're talking about fits right with what that sister is doing in it, who's in the chat right now. And you know, and if it's okay, I can put y'all in touch, email, phone number, whatever. I can put y'all in touch because I have her information as well. And,
She can get on the radio show too.
yeah,
Beyond the radio.
I
You
was
too,
just
too. You
about to
come on
mention
to
that.
over there Beyond the Radio. Holla and have some fun with us, man.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that because you know we Team Black, but I'm also, like I told you earlier, associated with Quads Radio, KWAZ, and we got some members in here now. Actually, Cassandra is one of the members. We got the Learning Curve. We got Oni from the Pro Black Perspective. I don't know if Cole Cool came through yet. The Bitter Medicine. He ain't here. He here. Cole Cool from the Bitter Medicine. We got my boy, the Forecast Radio. He's at work today. But look, so he have iHeart Radio, man, and he asked me to come through. So, and I told him if I come through, I got to shout out Team Black and KWAZ Radio. So we need to be on the lookout for that as a whole team, because anything I do, it ain't about me. It's about us and what we can do together as a team to build us up as a people.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
So I hope y'all heard that. So I'm gonna get that iHeart Radio information from him, and we're gonna start checking out, and we're gonna set up a interview, and y'all can come through. How that sound, my brother?
Man, I'm good with that, man. That you know, hey, let's do it. That's what it's about, man. Growing and building and keeping it good energy, man. Draw good relationships, man. That's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? No selfish intent. Let's just go together. You know what I'm saying? It's enough for everybody. You just gotta understand it's enough for everybody. You know, ain't no big eyes and little U's. It's just go get it. You know.
I got you. So let me ask you a question, right? I heard you talk about God and the brother that you met. I know you said you rode with the Christians or the Muslims. You know, you was leading something that was gonna, you know, whatever gonna have you going the right way, right? So let me ask you, would you say religion, or not necessarily religion, religion or your spirituality, either, is that part of the reason? Did that help you while you was behind the fence? Did that help you start going in the right direction? Your spirituality, Christianity, whatever.
Well, it started out, the religion helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, religion did help me, man, because I tapped into it. You know, and when I tapped into religion, you know, I did change. You know what I'm saying? But I struggled because I always felt I wasn't good enough due to the, you know, traditions of religion. And I understand, like, man, but I love people so much, man. My heart is so much in the right place. But I am a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, why so much ridicule? And y'all messed up too. I got messed up people telling me how messed up I am, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't get that. I ain't feel that love, you know what I'm saying? So the more I grew in knowledge, I realized my spirituality outweighed the religion that I believe, you know what I'm saying? So now, when it comes to these books, the principles are awesome, and I love to follow the principles. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the spiritual part of me represents my character way better than my religion did. And I'm only speaking for David Benton. I can't speak for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bash nobody, because I could be telling you how wrong you are. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my position. That's not healthy. It's not gonna do nothing. You know, me condemning somebody else, man, not gonna strengthen us both. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta accept you for what you different in. I accept your differences and focus on what we do agree on. Because we might have 99 things we agree on, and we allow that one thing to affect us.
Bam.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. You are
Yeah,
absolutely correct about that. We can have 99 things that we agree on, and we will find that one thing that we disagree on, and we will argue about it for the next 25 years and
straight
have
up.
not moved 1 iota, stay in the same position.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, man. Y'all got that. You hear me?
I got
I
you, and I
said
want
y'all got that.
look, you know what?
Yeah.
And I don't blame you. I ain't gonna do it either. You know what? And I'm gonna tell you, right? And by
Mhm.
the way, I'm sorry, Tanzan, African Mind. I forgot her when I said KWAZ Radio and my boy Guy in Hollywood. So I forgot them. So like I'm gonna say it like this: if I forgot somebody, if I forgot somebody's name, don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain, because y'all know I'm about us doing this and us building, and we have met somebody else. So I want to put the link in the chat right quick because I want to give Casidra a couple of minutes, if that's okay. And
All right,
Casidra,
that's
if you have
fine.
time to come up here and speak on Realm in the Bush, if you have time.
Yeah, that's
Because
fine.
what he's talking about, and I would love for Shay to come up here. Then I want my KWAZ team, my Team Black, all of us, we together. I met them brothers through another brother, Bawana Hagaziki. That's how I met KWAZ Radio. So I'm trying to mention everybody's name because I let everybody know anything I do, it ain't for me. But I know I can't mention everybody's name. So that's why I say if I don't mention your name, don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain. But I have met some good people. And
Yes.
Team Black, that we named it Team Black so black people can come aboard because we fight so much, right?
Yeah.
Us being black.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing we can fight. Even the people that don't want to say their ancestors came from Africa, right? But you're
Right.
still black. So now you can't fight on that. So now we got this team, and that's what we're supposed to be working toward building something for our youth and taking control of the businesses and everything in our neighborhood. Because I don't buy, I'm going to say before I don't buy that we don't have money. I buy that we spend our money with the wrong people.
Thanks.
We can't go to Chinatown and open up a business, right? I can't go to where, the Middle Easterns, Arabs, wherever they live. Or I can't go to right now popping up around Atlanta, you're starting to see a lot of different Latino communities where they got the grocery stores and everything, right?
Yeah.
We can't go there and just open us up a business and get supported. But everybody come into our neighborhood. I say neighborhood, not community, because my definition of community is a little different. My youngest son, like, Dad, it's the same thing. He's 19. Dad, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But I say community, we gonna have that community once we start controlling the businesses, right?
Right.
Once we can own the gas station, you feel me? Once we can own the nail salon, right? We gonna have a barbershop everywhere we go. We gonna have now we getting more women. We gonna have we got a beauty supply store now, just about every, but we need more than that. You feel me? We need electricians, we need plumbers, we need all of that. And the things that you're talking about when you say about building leaders, that's one of the things. That's why I won't consider. I'm gonna just put the link in the chat anyway. And I know if anybody want to come on and give everybody, like, y'all can come on and ask if that's okay. Y'all can come on and ask me a question if you have any questions. If y'all have any questions for the brother, y'all can come on and ask some questions, right? Now, I think I've explained once on here, and I say it every week, so I'm gonna say it again because I don't know if I did. The reason I mentioned Mind Our Black Business, right? The reason I started this series is because it's important to me. That's why I started, and I'm glad I see that it's important to a few more people.
This is a beautiful platform.
Yes, and because the greatest businessman I ever met personally in my life had a 3rd grade education. He was he was the father of one of my friends I went to high school with, right?
Right.
They called him Do Right, Big Wilbert Do Right. I called him Mr. Jones. He passed now. But
Right.
the little area I'm from in Mississippi, he was the first landscaper that I saw that was going around doing everybody's yard, doing all these white cemeteries and all that. And I'm going to tell you, when I talk about someone, they say he had like a 3rd grade education, right? So I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe he had more than that. I don't know, but I know I know what he did in business, and I know how many black people that he put to work and how many black families that he fed. You understand what I'm saying? And we are getting away from that. But so now when we look in our neighborhoods, our communities, what you see is, first it was the white people who say, okay, black people making money landscaping. Let's start landscaping and get all these big cemeteries from them. That's what happened to the guy I'm talking about, Mr. Jones. So now we let everybody else, the Hispanics, anybody else can come in our neighborhood and get a landscaping. But we've been mowing lawns forever. So that business need to come back to us. Need to come back. And it has nothing, I tell people, it has nothing to do with hate. Because I tell people I don't hate them. I don't hate them because I don't hate them because guess what? I'm never around them, right? I'm around you and Koku, who just popped up, and Shay and Cassandra, more than I'm around any of them, right? So what was happening, any hate I had in me, I was taking it out on my own people. So I had to let that hate go and focus on the love that I have for my people.
Right.
And that's why. What's going on? This is the guy right here. I think he's the founder, creator of KWAZ Radio. What's up, Koku?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen? Bakari, good to see you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Mr. Benton, good to meet you and good to hear your story here today.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I operate KWAZ Radio for those who didn't know. But Mr. Benton, I heard you say something that I thought was very interesting. You mentioned that you had your first cellie was the person who kind of directed you. But what's important in that story is that you actually was open and receptive to actually go and find yourself, right? Find knowledge of self and stuff like that from that suggestion. I'm curious though, in your experience in the time that you were behind that fence, how many folks did you encounter? What percentage per se of black men did you encounter who were equally receptive to that type of direction, or who had some knowledge of self, or came to have some knowledge of self, after the experience?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. In the feds, I can only speak for my experience. My experience ain't everybody else's experience. So I'm gonna take my experience, the majority. The majority there. Like, people gotta understand, like, we human too. You know what I'm saying? We just did something illegal and got locked up for it, right? But we still people, and a lot of us are remorseful. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us was hurt by it. Because we know we did damage, not just to us, but the people who depended on us, children, family, parents. You know what I'm saying? So, we always just wanting to be better. You know what I'm saying? We know that situation was the situation that we want to really, like, we didn't want this situation to manifest in our life. You know what I'm saying? So, like, with me, man, I didn't sell drugs the whole time. I was done almost 2 years clean. And then they picked me up. It ain't like they found drugs on me. It was just conspiracy, word of mouth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was already, like, not wanting to be a part of that. I was telling my story about me selling drugs and being in the gang before I got locked up. So you locked up a person who was already out the game. It was already trying to bless others to help them, be a better version of themselves.
Right.
Nobody made me quit. I just knew I knew what was in me, man, was just better. My mama taught me, my daddy taught me, man, just what's in you is always better than your circumstance. If you want it, you can go get it. So with that brother encouraging me, only thing he said, prepare for home. So now it's up to me to show what that looked like. And the way I visual the world, we all got different lenses the way we visual the world. Think about it. Over 4 billion, 7 billion people on the planet. That's 4 to 7 billion people. Everybody see the world through their own lenses. Nobody's lens is the same. So we living in a world that we got to deal with each other. So that's why I deal with self first. Deal with self, then you can handle things and circumstances around you. You know, you gonna have people. I have people say, "Man, you think you know everything?" And I told this dude, shout out to Mad Dog. I'm gonna say say that name. He was an old man, and I said, "Mad Dog, you think you know everything?" He said, "I do know everything, everything that I know." He said, "The stuff I don't know, I don't talk about it because I don't know. I use wisdom, so I only know what I've learned, so I can talk about what I learned. You know what I'm saying? And the experiences I've been through." I ain't speaking for nobody else and telling you this is how the world should go. I'm just saying that's how I see it through my lenses. You know, somebody else's lens might be different. That's fine. I understand it. But that's what we're trying to help people grasp onto, the ideal of going beyond your fence. It's a mental thing, it's a spiritual thing. So that's what I'm trying to help people do.
Let me say
Thank you for that.
Let me say something right quick, Coco. And you said something very important just then, right? And I had one of my best friends, right? She would always tell me, you expect people to see what you see and know what you know. But when you said everybody had their own lens, right? Everybody came up different. And I'm gonna be honest, I used to get so frustrated, right? So I'm like, why black people don't know this? Why they don't know? It was like, well, don't get mad. They didn't have nobody teaching them. Like the stuff I talk about, I was raised this way, right? I've been having to live this life since I've been able to breathe air, in all honesty. I had no choice because of my parents, right? My mom and my dad, right? So, and I used to get frustrated. And my friend, one of my friends, she helped me calm down. But then when you just said it, you're absolutely right. I have my lens, right? I have my lens. And my lens is going to be a little different because of how I came up, right? I came up with both parents in the house. You feel me? And then when I talk to a lot of people, a lot of my brothers and sisters, they always talk about single parents, single mom.
Right.
So my whole goal it took me a long time to just get to because most of my friends that I'm talking about, most of my friends I grew up with, I'm from the country. Had both parents, had both mom and dad in the house. So then when I go to the military and I start meeting these people from the cities, from big cities, and I'm like, man, you ain't know who your daddy? I'm like, to me, that was almost, even though I knew a couple of people like that, but that was almost strange. So then I realized my story, when I talk about my dad and my mom being married 33 years when he passed, my story is strange to them. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody has their own plans, right? Even when it comes to black people doing stuff. Everybody didn't, when I said the guy who was the great businessman, right? I seen him do that and I seen him feed people, right? When we didn't have a boys and girls club in my country town, right? So the men got together and they built something called a craft shop. Had a basketball court. They had where people can come use, you learn how to use tools, skill saws, hammers and nails. I saw people do that. So today I'm like, why the hell don't we just do it right today? But everybody didn't see it. They don't understand it. And it took me a long time. And I'm being honest, man. I used to get frustrated. I would literally get pissed off.
Yeah.
I would get pissed off. But I just want to say that. Go ahead, Koku. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I just was taking it all in. I'm very interested in folks who actually are willing to change. I think that's the thing, and it's interesting to hear Mr. Benton say that he had changed already. It just shows you how messed up the system is, right? He had made his change already and got caught up in some stuff And that's what we have to protect against too, right? We have to create these communities where our folks, have room to make mistakes, hopefully not too detrimental, but can change and can live out the change too. So I appreciate that. I'll yield the mic.
All right. Hey, yo, David, man, we have Cassandra Cheeks. This is the lady you were talking to in the chat that got Ram in the bush. So
Yes.
I'm glad y'all here meeting Cassandra. This David. David, this Cassandra. So,
hello.
so
Hello.
tell him about Ram in the bush, and so he can understand what I meant about how even if you feel the same way about building leaders could work with Ram in the bush.
That's what it's about. Building leaders, building for the future, right? That's perfect. Ram in the Bush is a foundation, and we started it just because I saw that we were not building our own tables. We were not teaching our children how to build their own tables. So we came up with a program, and it's given 18 to 25-year-olds, and we want to train them nationwide. We don't even have to do it in my location. We're going to do it nationwide. So we have some children in Georgia. We have somebody in Florida. We have somebody in Maryland, where it doesn't matter where they are. If you know of a building, like I got a guy now in Florida, and he wanted to do like the Mako. He wanted to build, how you have an accident and you take it to Mako and they paint your car and they redo whatever. That's what he wants to do. I don't know what you call it, but he wants to do that. I told him, I said, okay, find me 3 businesses, give me their phone numbers, give me the owner or the manager who could touch me and get me in touch with the owner, and I'll talk to that business and see if we can actually get him acclimated there, and we would incorporate that business with the foundation, and they could either go for free, paid training. We want them to get paid. We don't want them to work for them to get training and then turn around and have to leave there and go to work. That's not going to work. That's too much. So I want a paid training for them, 12 months, give them a certificate in their hand. Either you can continue working with that mentor, or you could take that certificate and go somewhere else to work or open up your own business. Ram in the Bush will actually help you 3 months, 2 to 3 months worth of maybe rent for you to open up and concentrate on getting your clientele in. Hopefully within that year, you'll have your clientele or whatever you need to do. But Ram in the Bush is willing to help you, stand by you, continue with the mentorship program and build onto that. And we'll help you with your rent or whatever. We're just building our own tables. We don't have to beg them to build to sit at their table. It is time for us to build our own tables. So the programs I have now is a CDL program, security, because eventually I want to have an investigating team. I want to have our own police department. We stack it on to the foundation, because I do believe that we need to patrol us. We need to look after us, because we've had too many men to serve 15, 37 years for a crime that wasn't committed by them. So why is that happening, and why aren't we doing something about it? If I see an issue in our community, to me, that gives me an idea to move and to do something. Just like I did a show today, and I talked about Black women. 5% of Black women are 5 times the rate of white women having babies. Why? Oh, we both have babies together. There's nothing wrong with our body. We are actually stronger than them. So why are we dying? Something is going on. So the doctors, they're using doctors to murder Black women, and they're using police officers to murder our Black men. So I said, okay, now I want to do the HVAC, program, the painting program, flooring, plumbing, electrician program, also barber and schooling, cosmetology, car detailing, which is what the young man wanted to do, and mechanics. And also I want to eventually do a doula and the midwife. These are programs that's very much needed in the Black community, and we see the issue. We know it's needed. So my thing is, let's create it and stop waiting for somebody else that don't care about you to create it, because they're not. So what are we waiting for? So that's what Ram in the Bush was all about, and that's why we made it and created it. But you have an amazing foundation. You're doing it. You're creating leaders yourself. So why not? I mean, the more the merrier. Everybody has a piece of the pie. We bring the pie together, and we got a whole piece nationwide.
Absolutely. I tell you, Shay Samuels, she's the head honcho, on Let's Talk Business, aboutbuildingleaders.com. She's the head honcho on this, you know what I'm saying? It's an umbrella with BeyondDaFence Enterprise, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the team, but You know, she's the head honcho. So with that, I'll definitely connect you with Shay Samuels. She is the
Yes,
one. I can't take credit
totally
for
understand.
something that, you know, that was already inside her. You know what I'm saying? So what was inside me was beyond fencing about building leaders. It's Shay Samuels. You know, let's talk business. Even though we're partners, period. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it together regardless. But
Mhm.
you know, I gotta follow protocol. It's all about respect. You know, the queen, understand when it comes to kings and queens, you know, the queen got a throne too. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta respect, you know, still respect leadership, you know.
Totally, totally. I
Yeah.
totally
So
understand
this
it.
is how
Yeah.
you gotta do it,
But
you
just
know.
wanted to kind of explain and introduce Ram in the Bush because guess what? There's enough people in this world, enough Black people for
Yeah.
us to all, you know, get fed and all of us to help them. We're teaching our next generation how to fish. They are so busy destroying our babies, and we see it right in front of our faces, and we do nothing
Yes.
about it. This program is to say, okay, you want to destroy something, you destroy your own. I'm pulling mine back, and I'm gonna start teaching my own how to build, how to fish. I want to
Right.
teach them how to fish. I'm not going to fish for you. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to stand there, talk you through it. Then I'm going to let somebody mentor you the rest of the way. And then you're going to do it yourself. That's what
Yes.
it's all about for us.
Yes. I'm
So,
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Like the system itself, like our children growing up, right, and especially in the inner city. You know, I can, like I said, I can speak from my own experience.
mhm,
I wasn't introduced to carpentry,
right.
you know, the painting, roofing, you
Mhm,
know, I
mhm,
wasn't these vocational classes. You know, I wasn't introduced to that skill. So
mhm.
by the time I get to my senior year in high school, I'm an honor roll student. I made good grades. But when I graduated, I just thought I wanted to be a basketball player. Only the 1% was offered to me. You know what I'm saying? The 1%. Do you know it's a slim chance? I got a 1% chance of making it to the NBA.
Right. Right. And we will propose that to our children than a program. Remember, we
It's
had these
because the
programs
knowledge.
in our neighborhood. Remember that.
It's
When
our
I was in high
knowledge.
school, we had those programs. You know who
Right.
took them away? Reagan took them away because they
Right.
was planning stuff then that they was going to pull our babies into prison from those schools to prison. And they've been doing a
Right.
good job. And we know it and do
Yeah.
nothing to stop it.
You know what? You're exactly right. How we did have those programs, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
even when I mentioned the craft shop, as each generation, people feel they need to go and see other things, right? So as I came along, when I got like a certain age, the craft shop was gone. We have to start to value our stuff without needing other people's validation.
Right.
We have
Right.
to value it without waiting on someone else to say it's valuable, right? So even when they go into with gentrification, right?
Hmm.
I say it's a mindset first, right? Because I'm gonna tell people, right? I did what my show was called was gentrification versus gentrification, but it shouldn't have been versus gentrification. But that's what I called it anyway. When they come into our communities, anybody else come into our neighborhoods, they come with a business plan to take over, right?
Take over.
When we leave, there's a group of us can go to a certain area. We're just going to live thinking it's better instead of us taking our business mind and saying, you know what, we can take over this area just like they have done us,
Yes.
right? If they want that and they have moved us out, first you don't let them move you out. But if you just, but they have things in order because it's their system and they move you out. Ain't nothing you can do. They push down the projects, right? So
Right.
then you got areas where people think they're going to get away from them, and they go. Then these Section 8 homes, people moving out to the suburbs now, living in. I knew somebody had a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 3,000, 3,500 square foot house for like 230 a month, right? So, but since our people is going in those places, so when we go there and we move there, we need to be going with the mindset of, you know what? We can have a business here, we can have a business here, and we can have a business here, right? So then it won't hurt because we have to start employing our youth. You understand? Most people can't say my first job. Most of our people can't say my first job was with a black-owned business, right? For me, that's the greatness of being in the country of where I'm from. That's the greatness of being in the part of Mississippi I'm from. My kids just asked me one day, they said, Dad, do any white people live down here? Don't nothing live down here but black people? Because the corner store, like, you know that, the corner store, everything was us, and they go like, black people. He say, they, you know, like, it ain't fancy, but we own it. You understand what I'm saying? I said, who's sweeping the floors? Who mopping the floors? Who taking out the trash? He said, black people. I said, you see them teenagers inside their store, right? They ain't related to them. We just know we family because we are here. So, not saying we don't act, some of them don't act funny with one another, because that's just life, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is, with those stores, I grew up, it was a place called Smitty Grocery. They had like 25. It was a gas station. It had a small grocery store. It was a pool hall. And they had like 25 throughout the state of Mississippi. And they had like 25 of them throughout the state of Mississippi.
We have to get back to that. It's time.
And I think the country, for me, I always tell people, I'm a firm believer in that the big city was one of the worst things that happened to black people. Because when we went to the big city, the hustle and bustle of the city made us forget how it was when we were in the country. We didn't take care of one another in the big cities the way we did in small towns.
They did that on purpose.
You know, and some people, you know, you could have maybe some, you know, even in the big cities in our neighborhoods, we should have been putting things in order so we can start employing, because so we can become employers and not just employees to other people. You know, I want my grandkids to say, you know what, my first job was with David, man. He owned this corner store and he needed somebody to take out the trash and sweep him out the floor. And I used to go up there like 3-4 hours a day and make sure the store, you understand what I'm saying? It means when our teenagers, when our youth can see something like this, even our teenagers who's trying to get into the music business, right?
Right.
They can see you and they're like, you know what? Let me see if I can talk to David and David can help me with this. If he's independent, and I know he went independent because he didn't want nobody to rip him off. Let me bring my skills to BeyondDaFence Enterprise, and they can help me, and they can help me, and they can help me out. Forecast, you trying to come in and talk noise on? That's what our country people say. We're not eating chitlins. Yeah, man, you can cook chitlins by 3 different ways.
Well, I'm gonna pass on that one.
You can boil them, you can fry them, saute them. You boil them, take them out, saute them. I don't eat chitlins no more.
Okay, we've been free. Okay, we'll have to eat that no more. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with them.
All them pig feet and chitlins.
I used to eat it all.
We free. Okay, we'll have to eat that no more. Okay.
I used to eat it all, the whole pig, everything except the oink. Like I try to even eat the oink.
I'm done.
I try to eat everything. I don't do it no more. I don't fool with it. But I'm saying, like, back when I was growing up, oh yeah, we had that on Thanksgiving.
Shoot, yeah, we used to say we eat the pig from the rooter to the tutor.
I'm telling you, I did.
You didn't throw nothing away.
Hog head
cheese. Y'all call it cheese.
What with hot sauce on it?
Yeah, hot sauce. Yeah. Hog head sauce and crackers. Yeah.
Shout out to my mama. Chitlins was the truth.
Hog maws. Look at the scissors shaking my head.
I'm having a fit over here, fellas. I'm sorry. I never liked, I just couldn't get with it. The smell, I'm like, why am I gonna put that in my body? I smell it. No. I knew where it came from. I'm like, no, I don't want that. No.
Hey,
no, I'm gonna tell you something, right?
You gotta step out on faith.
I'm gonna tell you something, right? Then we're gonna get back to I've helped slaughter hogs, right? I know how to slaughter hogs. I've had the fresh chitlins. The chitlins you get out the store don't even stink. I had the fresh ones, straight out the hog where you had to clean
put that onion in.
where you had to clean, where you
I
had
put
to
that
clean.
onion.
You did everything, and they were just as good. They were just as good. We done cut up pork chops and all that. But you know what? Let me tell you, right? We got the pro-black perspective out here, right? He's
Right.
part of KWAZ Radio. I'm gonna give him a shout out because he's an author. Hey, put the name of your books in the chat, Oni. Put your name of the books in the chat. Somebody might want to buy your books, man. Y'all check him out. He a good brother. I ain't gonna say somebody might want to buy your books because I'm purchasing one of your books. We all want to purchase your books because we're gonna support you. So I apologize for the way that came. Yeah, Bawana, yes, we did. I apologize for the way they came out. We got the Forecast Radio. That's my little brother. He got some script, what he like to call them scriptures. And put in there where you can, and put them in there where they can find them. Only you can't just put them, you can't just put the name of the book. You got to tell them where they can find it so they can purchase it. The Forecast Radio, you know, he got a book coming very soon. You know, he's a young brother. I call him my little brother. I'm 50. He in his early 30s. Only do not know how to promote himself. You got to put your name of the book, and how to see it, everything.
What's the link, Oni?
Get your book, Oni. Shay say check out David Benton's music. Yeah, you know, I listened to it. That was, you know, I made sure I played that today when I came in. But I listened to it anyway though. I heard it play. I let they was liking. I let play Shay song, a couple of her songs they were liking it. So today I made sure I came in, and it was not my first time playing it, but I made sure I played David today, because you know that's what it's about. You know, minding our black business, and this is our black business right here. When we see black men and women trying and they're working hard, we got to stick together, and we got to and we have to support one another. And we have somebody, what's her name? I can't say. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. Don't worry about it. Jonetta, this is my first time seeing you over here. I'm glad you're here. So this is what we like. We like positive things. This is what our channel is about. When the names that I mentioned, all of us. So you should hit that subscribe button, and you should hit that subscribe button, so in notification bell, so you can check us out, right? Hey, Forecast, if you got time, put the links to the channel in the chat, please. So, David, is there anything else you want to tell us about you? Okay, so I have one more other than that before we go there. Y'all do music. Shay do the consulting, right?
Now we both do the consulting.
Y'all both do the consulting? Okay, yes. She just started the consulting. You just said the head honcho of that. I got you. Yes. So you got BeyondDaFence. Y'all do the consulting.
It's all one thing. You know what I'm saying? It just because of the business side, you know, we got to just do what the business do. We got to handle the business side.
I got
so you know, it's not separate. It's all together. But you know, it's just all about just learning how to handle your business. Just handle the business the right way. You know, you gotta understand. One thing about me is, man, like as far as the independent thing, like I'm not trying to be like the Nas and the Jay-Z's. Like shout out to them guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I salute them with both hands, but they not me. You know what I'm saying? I can only be a better me. I'm focused on me. I ain't focusing on what people say I should be. Can't nobody be David Benton better than David Benton. I'm like that too. I'm a king too. You know what I'm saying? Well, he got $1 billion. I got some thousands. What? And I'm like that with my thousands. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be confident and just be focusing on like where you at and try to be a better you. Like I'm gonna be better tomorrow than I am today. I'm competing against me. I don't have time to be competing against everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not fighting for the 1%. I'm just living my life. And really, people pay me to really just be my authentic self.
I got you. I got you. So is there any other businesses that y'all handle under that umbrella?
man, we like I said, we got a DJ. You know what I'm saying? We shoot videos. You know, we got the radio show. Um, man, we have packages, man. We build your brand. You know, we show you how to get monetized. You know what I'm saying? Like we show you the ins and outs, and I'm not gonna lie, man, it feel good to say, man, we got 100% success rate. It ain't been no failures, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing I tell people all the time, I can't tell you what to do. I can only give you advice. Once I give you the knowledge, it's up to you to apply it. I can't help if you lazy or you don't invest enough in yourself. I invested a lot in myself to get to the position where I am. So of course I'm going to recoup, you know what I'm saying, and get a return on my investment with interest. That's just smart. That ain't trying to rob or steal. No, it's just smart business. So people got to learn the business side and get around. Don't be afraid to be around people who smarter than you in certain areas. Like I always tell people, you're the smartest one in the room, and go to another room. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room all the time. I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn. So iron sharpen iron.
You're absolutely right about that. Iron sharpen irons. You don't want to be. You know what? I tell somebody. You know, when people look at me funny when I say it, right? Oh, and by the way, Koku, I thank you for joining. I know you say you went back to the chat. Thank you for joining. Right?
I'm going back to the chat too. Thank you, Bakari.
Okay, thank you for coming up, Cassandra.
Thank you.
And I'll make sure everybody stay connected if they want to connect, because we got
Definitely want to connect.
Because I will have that because they told me so. I'm gonna have to do that iHeartRadio interview, you know, with BeyonDaFence Enterprise, and we can in a KWAZ radio team black make sure we come through, right? So one thing that you said, right? You say you have to be willing to invest in yourself. You're absolutely correct. And once you invest in yourself, you can't be scared to take chances. One of the things I think that bothers some of us sometimes is we're afraid to fail. Failing can be frustrating, right? But I tell people, it's really not failing. It's a learning experience. That's how I see it, so I can stay committed to what I'm doing. Like when I started my pressure washing business, it took me a long time to get steady customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once I got those steady customers and I got clients and I showed what I could do, when I got out of pressure washing, because certain chemicals I was using started messing my skin up, I literally gave my son a 6-figure business. My oldest son. I also have a 31-year. He's 31 now. I gave him a 6-figure business. I told him I should have sold it to him.
Sure. I would.
You know what? That's my son, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. He know how to do so much. He know how to build fences, like wood fence. He can know how to do that stuff. Paint. He do so much. So under that pressure washing umbrella,
right?
Even though he kind of messed up my pressure, he pissed me off, but he incorporated so much other stuff.
Right.
He keep going, because I was pressure washing, and I could say I could clean your gutters, but I wouldn't get on top of no house. Right. But he incorporated pain. Right. You know, he know how to come in. He can renovate homes. You know, he know how to do all that. That's my oldest son, right? And for a long time, you know, we talk because you said NBA. He had the skills for football. He literally have 2 friends now that he was rated high in, and he played 1 year in college. They won actually when he was 16 years old. I don't know if you watch football or not, but Carrell Buckhalter, who used to play with the Eagles with Donovan McNabb, right? Saw my son at 16, and literally he's good enough now to be in the NFL at age 16, playing defensive end. Right. But he enjoyed the streets. He didn't have to be in the streets. He just enjoyed the streets. And that messed up some of the things. But in the process of that, and it pissed me off, not because he went in the NFL, but like, dude, you're throwing away opportunities.
Right.
In the process of all that, because our relationship, I'm going to be honest, our relationship was almost like Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. In the process of that and everything that he went through and me going through it with him, now we thick as thieves. That's my, you know, that's my son, and I love him, even though I ain't gonna do stuff. Everything I do, he ain't gonna agree with. True. Everything he do, I'm not gonna agree with. That's but right. Through all that, he showed me. He said, "Dad, I got other skills. And in that process, he showed me that he have other skills, and he can go out here and he just locked down two $90,000 contracts to renovate homes. So he got other skills.
Okay.
What he
That's
know.
dope.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Football,
sir.
football when it. I know football when it for you, and we went through all that. It wasn't even about football being it for him. It was just that it's opportunities that there. I said, God gave you gift. Use your gift that God gave you to do the things that you want to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
found what he wanted to do. Like he went behind the fence. He did 11
Right.
months, stayed free for about 2 months, got out, stayed free for about 2 months, went back and did 12 months.
Right.
Went back again, right?
Mm-hmm.
But being behind it once he got beyond the fence this time,
Right.
I really see him thriving and he working hard and he's trying. So now I can see that's probably why I see our relationship changed and we went from I'm your dad and I'll whoop your ass
Right.
to
Right.
him, I'm your son and I'll try you to you my dad and I love and respect you and you my son and I love and respect what you're doing.
Right.
After he came from behind the fence too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took him time.
Mm-hmm.
But the same experience with all the talents, the same thing. And it took that for him to
Right.
start getting himself together.
Right. Yeah, man. I think, man, the thing is we have to our heroes, you know, we ain't looking to Mr. Lester over there who own his his garage. You know what I'm saying? Fixing cars, his car garage. We not we not really tripping off Miss Betsy who got the corner store or the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? We look at the jewelry and what shines, and you know, man, that's we can break free from it. But when we already programmed from the day we born, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't get mad at people no more because I empathize. That's why I'm effective because I understand. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping out for you, fam. That's how I feel like, man, I got you, bro. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. You're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is bless you with some advice. So when I come to the business side of things, people got to pay me for the advice because they got to be serious because I don't want to waste my time. We got 24 hours in a day, and we all can be effective in those 24 hours if we choose to. So what I choose to do with my 24 hours, you choose to do something different. And you can't blame me for telling you no because I don't want to waste a part of my 24 hours with you. And I think, man, with our kids growing up, man, they don't really, it feel good, man, when they wearing the jewelry and can imitate LeBron James or they feel they want to be the next Donovan McNabb or whoever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we only introduced that 1%. Our heroes ain't really in our hood. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we really, us as the adults, the one who do know, we really want to gotta help. We could be a part of the solution. Like we know all the problems, but let's come with a solution. The solution is what we're doing now, bro. That's why I really appreciate you, Bakari, for this platform. Because what you're doing really is a part of the solution. We ain't just complaining about it. We talking about how we can still, make a move to make an impact. All of us are making impacts, and we're just putting our resources together to make it even better for the next generation. So that's all I'm trying to do. These kids just don't have no direction, man. And a lot of them who do got a little direction, they ain't really confident enough. You got to be confident in yourself. And they really lack a lot of confidence. So they, joining this organization, joining that organization because they want to be somebody that they think is the cool kid. Don't nobody want to be the dork of the class. Everybody want to be the cool kid. So they paint that picture on TV and show us what success look like. And it's a false narrative. And that 1% is what we going for. But they ain't offering us the carpentry, the brick mason, the welding. They ain't offering these skills. So when these kids graduate, now you got a majority, you got a bigger percentage of a chance to go get you a welding job, electrician job, a brick mason job. See, these skills, man, these kids are brilliant. I became a welder while I was incarcerated. I had the skill, I just didn't know. I just had to get the knowledge.
You know, that's something I've done before. Excuse me, I will. And there's another thing. I have a homeboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we trying to figure out how we gonna do it. He's trying to get he want a truck driving in a heavy equipment operating school, and he want to put it in the black neighborhood. Because, you know, to do that, we always have to go far out, right? And I think that's a deterrent to some of our people, some of our youth, right? But those are some things that we can do, man. Because I'm sitting and I'm looking. When you see these people on this heavy equipment, one thing that I did was like, what they I can't even think of what they're called now. They're putting the steel beams up on those tall buildings. You know what I'm talking about?
The iron workers.
Yeah, but not just them. I'm talking about the one that operating the machine, putting it up there, right?
The crane workers.
Crane, bam. I couldn't think of what it is, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I had this. It was called Maxim Crane. I used to clean all the equipment for them, right?
Right.
And
You
I
make
got
some good money then.
Yeah, and I got to talk to some comedian there. I'm talking to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working cranes is something I wouldn't do. That up to it. Just me looking up that high with that thing over me, I couldn't do it. But I want some of our youth to learn to do it. So the guy, he was showing me, he said, you see him right there? He make $50 an hour out here working with us. And he said, what he did with that, then he bought a smaller crane, right? So he's working, making $50 an hour, being employed by them. But then on his smaller crane, he's making $120 an hour because they hired his smaller crane. So then he hired somebody to operate the crane. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, we learn these skills. We can do the same thing. I've even gone into seeing how much it would get for a crane. I know the prices of the smaller cranes. I know you can go get them used. I know you can get good ones that might be $25,000, $30,000, right? But we got to get the skills so we can put some of our people can get some of those union jobs, right? And now that you have a union job, see, this is what they have to be, right? Let's say it's you, David, and you operating a crane.
Mm-hmm.
But you want your own crane, but you're employed by Bakari's Crane Works, right?
Right.
So this is how it should be. I employed you. Now you're on here making $50 out. Mm-hmm. We need to have a system set up where you should be able to come back to our neighborhood and say, and have your plan written out. And this is what it is. Because I'm going to tell you something he told me. The reason I'm saying it, they have to hire small minority businesses. Because he was trying to get me to get one.
Right.
They have to hire small minority businesses, right? So we should have a system set up where Dave, who's right now employed by Bakari's Crane Works, he's making $50 an hour here, but he want to get his own crane, still be employed by Bakari Crane's Work, but he went back to the neighborhood. He got somebody there who know how to operate a crane. In the neighborhood, the community should be able to help you with that crane. So you understand what I'm saying? Those are the type of systems that we need. So now the system helped this community, where we live, helped David. David gave, someone will use this name since people like to use these names for negative. So David just gave Pookie and Ray Ray a job operating a crane, right? So now Pookie and Ray Ray is not the Pookie and Ray Ray that's tearing up the community. Pookie and Ray Ray now is looking like that. David helped us. Bakari helped David. David is speaking to us. We see how he changed his life. So maybe that's what we need to do. So instead of tearing up the block, now let's go to, I'm going to use some more names that they like to use on YouTube. Let's go to Bumquisha and let's get some more to, and now before you know it, David has helped people. Now everybody is not operating the crane, but damn, I got my own bulldozer. So now I'm out here on these construction sites. Right. I got my own skid steer. So now I'm doing grading. You understand what I'm saying? So our neighbor, our community, that's what we need. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be looking out. We need to be looking out for one another. We shouldn't always have to go to other people to get a loan, that we got to complain about how they don't want to give the loan. They want to give us high interest rates. They gonna do this and they gonna do that. So now it's time for us to look in the mirror and say, you know what? Let's start putting money in this pot.
Right.
So we don't always have to go to them. So we can turn internally.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? Since David and Shay got the consultant and they got all this in order and they got this in order, I'm finna go to BeyondDaFence. This is what we need. This is what we've been putting in the pot. Can I get 5 or 10,000? What a contract at to show you I'm gonna pay you back, because I still got to pay my money back. Just it's not the fact that a black person got to give me something. But I came to you for that loan. You loaned me 10, and on that 10, after my interest, and I paid you back and everything, because you helped me and I got this contract. So now when I look at it, he didn't pay back. Not only did he pay back 10, he gave 12.5, and he's still putting his monthly into this pot. So for the next person who want to do landscaping, and for the next person who want to be a plumber, or for the next person who going to be an electrician, or for the next person who want to go to school to learn how to drive trucks. You understand what I'm saying? Or watch this. Now I'm gonna get past those trade skills, right? Because they're very important. So now we got a young man here who want a young woman who want to be a doctor, who want to be a lawyer, but they don't have the money for everything. And he can come right back, he or she can come right back to that same circle. And we say, you know what? Since we know we need doctors and lawyers in our neighborhood, right? We gonna help you go to school to be a doctor. And you got to remember where you got to come back and open your clinic. We gonna help you be an attorney. And you know who you got. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense about it or not, but
nah, I do. It just, I'm gonna be honest with you, Bakari. I used to talk like that. And one thing about black people with niggas, they different. You get what I'm saying? Like niggas is destroying the community. I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from that area. I ain't hiring you because you black. You got to be qualified. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to be qualified, because you ain't gonna tear me down. I worked too hard for this. So there's an accountability as a black man that I gotta have. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't based on what the white man did to me. Let me tell you why. Because I'm my own boss. Like we talk about this all the time. You can be a boss and don't be a leader. You know what I'm saying? You can be a boss with the title. That don't mean you're a good leader. You know what I'm saying? You could be a good manager. That don't mean you're a good leader. Like I don't want people to work hard in the wrong direction. Like if you have, I don't care, like man, if you have a map of California and you going to Martin Luther King Street, we all got Martin Luther King Street. If you got a map of Los Angeles going to Martin Luther King, no matter how much faith you got, how much patience you got, man, you looking, they're like, man, I keep going the wrong way, man. I'm looking at the map, I keep going the wrong way. While the leader's gonna look and make sure you're in the right city, the leader gonna be like, hold on, man, we in San Diego. You know what I'm saying? While the manager sitting up there driving, nah, man, we making progress, we going. We going to Martin Luther King. Man, we making circles because we got the wrong map. I mean, we got the right map, but we in the wrong location. We got to get to Los Angeles. You up here by faith, you working hard, but you in San Diego trying to find, you using we in the wrong city with the correct map. So you can have the correct information, but the wrong mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's up to us. Everybody not meant to go. Hey man, that's life. Everybody meant to go with you.
I agree with that. 100%. But let me say this before you continue. I was talking about qualified black people. I ain't just talking about giving somebody a job. That's why
All
I'm
right,
also.
bro. My
That's what I'm
apologies,
also.
man.
No, you good. No, you good. I understand. No, that's why I also mentioned let's get him some training.
Yeah, man.
That's what I.
Man,
You
it
know, no, I'm
is.
talking about qualified black people. Now you can go ahead, but I want you to know that is what I'm talking about.
Okay. Because, man, I mean, because we are our own worst enemy. Like, we can't, I mean, we still blame everybody else because we don't want to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? It is a systematic racism. That's just a reality, man. This system, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if we change our mindset, man, we can navigate through this thing we call life. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you want it as a person. You know what I mean? It's up to each individual. Like I said, that's why I said before, man, you got to work on self. Then you can work collectively. If you ain't right, I can't expect others around me to be right. And I ain't right. So I got to focus on me. And I think we got to give them something to this tangible that they're able to do. Everybody not meant to have their own business. Everybody ain't intelligent like that. They got some intelligence. That ain't them. Everybody ain't, you got to have the workers. You got to have somebody to work for you. You know what I'm
You know,
saying? You got your
I
leaders, you got your
I
good workers.
absolutely agree, my brother. I ain't mean to cut you off. I just want to say I absolutely agree, and that's the new thing. Be an entrepreneur. Everybody needs. Now, everybody ain't gonna. Cause now everybody is not meant to be to be the business owner. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with that. So let me ask you a question. I know this is something we talked about the other day, right? When
Mhm.
we were talking about the change of my mindset, right?
Yes, sir.
So I know we both have heard, well, it's gonna take, we won't live to see it, but if we start right now, I'm a firm believer in that if we change our mind, we
Mhm.
can change our situation. We
Yes,
can
sir.
change our situation in the next 48 hours if we change our mind. Not saying in the next 48 hours we're gonna own the businesses, right? But if we change our mind, our situation would change because we're starting to see things different. So when we
Absolutely.
start to see things different, we're gonna make that extra effort to support one another so we can have these businesses in place, so we can start to employ one another. I'm a firm believer it don't take 50 to 100 years. You
Yes, sir.
understand? To
Yes, sir.
build what we got to build. And like me being from Mississippi, I say I use Mount Bayou, Mississippi for an example. Coming out of slavery, two people knew how to read. Isaiah T. Montgomery, who was the leader, and I forget his cousin. Everybody else was just field slaves, right? They didn't get a chance to
Right.
learn how to read. He was a field slave, or his dad was, and he learned how to, somehow he learned how to read, right? But they had put their money together and bought
Mhm.
land that white people said was swamp land and there was nothing they could do with it. So they sold it to these black people. Those black people went out there, they cultivated the land, they cut down the trees, they built businesses, they built churches, they had 3 banks. I think they still have one now. Nobody ever owned a business in that town from 18, what was it? I think it was founded in 18, like between 76 and 1880.
Mhm.
Nobody ever owned a business in that town but black people.
Mhm.
Nobody in the history of that town. And it
Right.
still stands today. Does it have problems? Yes, it has problems because of this system. But what I'm saying is, right, to agree with you, the people that wanted to be a part stayed there and helped build that town, right? The qualified people, right?
Mhm.
Once
Mhm.
qualified to do these things, proper leadership at the top, I guess a proper committee, and everybody else have to be committed to saying, you know what, we are going, everybody have to be committed to saying, we are going to do this. I'm going to support David's corner store. His price is a little high because they sold it to him high. So he can't sell it
Right.
for $1.50. He got to sell it
True.
for $2 in order to make 25 cents.
It's true.
So then in that process of doing that, now we can become producers of the things that we like rap snacks. I like chips. That's the only chip I eat, rap snacks. I don't know if you ever heard of them, right?
Oh yeah,
But
Master P.
I thought he was the owner too, but he ain't the owner, he just owned the bag. He might be part owner though, but it is black owned though.
I'm cool with that too.
No, but it's black owned. I'm just because I thought he was the own, and it's out of Louisiana, so he probably got
Right.
something, and it's out of New Orleans, right?
Okay.
So now we got wraps, so we producing stuff that we like. So now in David's store, David got a black owned chip company. We ain't got to get Doritos and all that other stuff. We can
Right.
get wrap stacks. My brother Koku, he put one in there from a couple weeks ago of a black owned chip place up in New York. So now not only do we have wrap snacks, now we got the black owned chip place coming from, you understand what I'm saying? Through
Right.
and with us having trucks, right? Because you know that's something black people getting into, right? So now we got rigs. So now we got the distribution. So we got the trucks where we can take our stuff, and we ain't always got to go to other people for everything. So now we're in a position where we can work deals because you're gonna do business with other people. That's just a
Yeah.
fact.
Gotta
So
have
now,
allies.
so now you in position where you have some type of leverage and you can begin to make deals. And we, because our mind have changed and we
Right.
want to see us do better, regardless of how other people feel about us, is what we want for us, right? So
Yep.
now, regardless of how they feel, they gonna have to bend and buckle a little bit because they see we standing strong, we standing firm, and we ain't got to deal with y'all for this, and this. So now everything gonna change. Now watch this. David prices just dropped. Why? Because we had some leverage and he able to get the stuff for the same price that everybody else in front. What you think about that?
Now that's true. And you know that that still go with, you know, you just gotta have like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? That's why you build the community of people. That's why, like, as far as in the entertainment business, like that's what you know, you go for your target audience. You get what I'm saying? You have a target. Of course, you want millions of views and all that, but now, I mean, you just go a target. You target certain people, so you all can be effective as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But you had that target of like-minded people. So, because everybody not gonna understand your vision, you just get with people who have a like-minded vision. And I'm like this, man. I moved the way I move with no handouts. That person moved the way they move with no handouts. People getting what they get together. Like, poor people beget poor people. So I can't get, if I get a person who only got $2 and I say, look, man, I just need a little dollar. And that's all he got, is $2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't ask this man for $1 and that man for $1. And that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if I'm already established and I come together with an establishment with another, then the resources, what you already have going on, what I already have going on, we can build it. You know what I'm saying? And like, you don't see Nike and Adidas writing diss songs. You know, you don't see the owners in a club making it rain. You know what I'm saying? they ain't fighting each other. They know it's enough for everybody. I don't have time to be fighting. You know what I'm saying? On who the biggest. So my thing is, I do what I do individually. You do what you do individually. Another person do it, and you bring it together to where my individualism, we all gonna be like that. But it's like if I have the clothing store and that man have the food store and that person have the post office and that person have the bank, it's not. We all know, you know, it ain't gonna take a year. It's gonna take a lifetime. But we just got to do our part and leave a powerful legacy. You know what I'm saying? Of, you know, what we gonna put out to the world. Because we have all the complaints. I know the complaints, but now it's like we got to walk in that solution. You know what I'm saying? And really walk in and do something that's really realistic. Man, I done had so many people to come to us, man. They want to hire us to consult them to help grow their business. They might start out with a vision, and we help them become an actual credited business. And a lot of people who we get calls and just to consult, you know, just to have a sit down, it's gonna be $75. We ain't talking to you if it ain't $75. But we ain't wasting our time. So
That's
We
nothing.
have so many people come in, they have the greatest ideas in the world, but it ain't realistic. I had somebody say, hey, man, I'm gonna have 25 restaurants. And I'm like, you don't even cook in your house yet. Like, how you gonna have a restaurant? You know what I'm saying? You ain't even selling dinners. You don't got no clientele. Period. But you expect to just buy a restaurant with no revenue, bad credit. So that's why we gotta develop the minds. We develop the mind, then that's when everything will start, really transpiring. My bad, man. I'm getting some phone calls.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
cool, man.
yeah, I hope you still can hear me real good.
Yeah, I can hear you. What you got to go? The business calls you got to go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Look, man, I'm glad you came through, so this was an excellent interview. I
I
enjoyed
appreciate
it.
you, bro.
The chat enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. We made connections. So, let's give a shout out to our good brother. Let's give a shout out to our good brother Dave for coming through.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. And man, you know what? I appreciate you. You got my information. Just let me know when you're ready for me to come on to your iHeartRadio station so we can chop it up, man. So
We
everything.
family now.
Huh?
We staying connected, man. We family now. We staying connected.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we gonna stay
Yeah.
connected. I deal with good people. I'm gonna tell you something, right? When I told this brother, before you go, right? Let me say this. I told this brother, I was like, I said, I want you to come. I said, I got a small YouTube channel. And we got to talking about some of the things that we see in the vision that we see for black people. And he was like, and you ain't got no small, you might be small in numbers, but the vision and what you're talking about, you're doing with you and your people, it ain't small. So I'll be glad to be there. So, but I still, me, I said it's small because of it. But unfortunately for us, sometimes we would rather hear the beef than hear somebody coming together with solutions, right? Because like he said, we know the problem. We all know the problem.
Yeah.
But we don't want to face the solutions because taking care of the solutions means you have to accept responsibility. But before you go, man, give your closing words. Because look, after he give his closing statements and tell us where he can be found, I have 3 businesses in the area that I want to show. So if anybody want to stay on and see those 3 businesses, I would be more than happy for y'all to stay and check out these 3 businesses that I want to show. But look, let me put it directly on you. You give them your solo layout. You tell them where you can be found, and whatever else you want them to know, whatever you want them to know about BeyondDaFence and everything.
Hey, I'm doing as y'all can see, man, BeyondDaFence, BeyondDaFence.org. You know what I'm saying? It's the website. Check it out. Man, shout out to every artist on BeyondDaFence, man. My man, I left out the jewel. He's going beyond his fence now. Y'all pray for that, brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's my guy. Shout out to the CEO of BeyondDaFence Enterprise, Shay Samuels. Like I said, Alma Neely, Tanya Caesar, DJ G Will, DB Jr., and Tommy Two Toes. And y'all find us on all streaming platforms. Look, we got plenty of videos. Man, we got inspirational videos. We got music videos. Whether you go to David Benton, Shay Sams, everybody I name. Listen, this is what we do. One-stop shop. You need some motivation? We got you. You trying to be transformed? You need some transformation? We got you. You want to build a business? We got you. You got that hard-headed little kid? Send them over here to Let's Talk Business, and we'll help them become a better version of themselves. We'll show them what's inside them is greatness, and we'll bring it out of them. So I do appreciate you, Bacardi, man. I'm very grateful. I don't take the love for granted. Man, I thank you. Like I said before, bro. You know, a little platform according to whose paradigm. You know what I'm saying? Like according to whose standards, who create that narrative? Say what's small and what's big. You know what I'm saying? So this is a big platform, and I'm happy to be a part of this big platform with big opportunities and people with big hearts. So you know we're gonna continue to do big things, and I salute y'all with both hands. You did.
You get the same salute, my brother, with both hands.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you get the same one, but man, both hands, man. I'm glad you came through. You know what? We might have to do the other. I might have to do the other one later. You know, this is gonna have to be episode. The next one gonna have to be episode 6.5. I might have to do it later to show these three businesses later, because I have a couple of things to take care of too. But I'm glad you came through, my good brother at Beyond from BeyondDaFence Enterprise, David Ben, Shay. If it wasn't for Shay Samuels,
Shout out to Shay Samuel.
yep, shout out to her. I wouldn't have met this brother. You know, I'm glad she's one of the sisters that allow me to get her a cup of coffee in the morning. You know, I've been called a simp and everything. I appreciate black women. I love black. So that is something I do. I just show my appreciation by getting a cup of coffee.
Right.
You trying to hit on me.
A
No.
cup of coffee go a long way, boy. Cup of
But I'm
coffee.
not-
Thank God for that cup of coffee.
Yes, I think.
Shout out to all the coffee drinkers, man. Salute to all the coffee drinkers for real. This how you get the opportunities, man. You drink that coffee. Yeah.
But I didn't come at her. No, I didn't come at her sideways. We just spoke, and I let even right then and there, because I always talk about what I am for my black stuff, and I tell black women right there, and I tell black women how beautiful they are, because they don't hear enough of that, especially on social media, TV, whatever media. Everybody's always put a bud in them. So when I talk to a black woman, they have to know that there's some. I let them know all the time. I'm not the only one that know y'all great.
Right.
I'm not the only one that know y'all spectacular, and that's how we met. So shout out to Shay. So she's gonna have to come on here and give her interviews, because I asked her, and she's like, "You should talk to David. I'm gonna link y'all two up." I like, all right, and then she told me about you.
Yeah, man. She know when it comes to a platform like this, the way I speak, this is my type of platform. So there's other platforms. I'm gonna say, man, that's like what I told the beautiful lady. I just said, man, talk to Shay, like we'll get with her, because that's just how we do. You gotta respect platforms. People like, man, look, man, I know y'all do y'all music. Like, well, so you need a DJ? Talk to my guy, William G. Will Faulkner. And so we always do that, man, respectfully. You just respect a real leader, man, gonna put people in a position to win. Can't know everything. Use your gifts. The people that, if their gift is better than mine in that area, then I'm gonna put them in that position, because we all gonna win.
Yeah, I got you. And look, we gonna link up. We gonna meet at Phenomenal Seafood one day.
Man, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do that.
I'm gonna introduce you to the owner, and then you can tell him about your comedian. You see what I'm saying?
All the time.
Then you can tell him about your comedian. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
I know the owner there right there. It's not far from me. So yeah, so y'all can be. But I thank you for coming through, man. Take care of your business, man.
Man, thank you, King.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, bro. Peace.
Peace. Hey, forecast say, do you see what simping gets you? Man, I wasn't simping. Oh, peace, my brother. Peace out, man. Just peace out, yeah. Hey, I wasn't simping. I wasn't simping forecast. I was not simping. Oh, maybe I am simping. That's okay. I simp for black women. I love them. They are great. They are the greatest. They're the greatest gift God gave the world. You feel me? Oh, you know what? Let me see something. I think I do have one. I do want a show before I go. Hold on one second. And then y'all let me know if y'all can hear this or not. I uploaded this today. The only reason I uploaded it because I don't know how to, it won't let me email it to myself. So y'all let me know if y'all can see that, right? Let me know if y'all can see this and hear this. You feel me? And if y'all can't hear it, I'll play it another way. Universal Market, you the owner here?
Yeah, I am.
What's your name?
Peace. My name is Shaki Bourne. We got a clearance sale going on right now. Right here, this is our clearance rack. Women's clothes, men's clothes, t-shirts. We do body butters, whipped shea butter, shower gel. We got your sage right here. Incense, the hand rolled Jamaican incense right here. These right here really burn slow, and they really are fragrant throughout the house. We got natural toothpaste, the neem toothpaste to keep your teeth nice and white and strong. Our natural bar soap. We carry African black soap. A plethora of things. Right now we're working on getting our art pieces done. This is my bracelet wall right here. And as you can see over here, we have the earring walls, where we have the diffusers, the oil burners. We also carry black art, African American art. We got some pieces from Senegal, some pieces from Ghana, some pieces from Kenya. Right now we got a sale on our leggings. Our leggings are only running $3 a piece. So y'all also have a sale on jeans right now as well. So since it's fall time, we got some nice items for you. Real affordable prices. Not trying to price gouge our people. We're trying to make sure we do right by our people because we want to continue to do right by you.
Hey, give them your address, man.
Oh, for myself, my address is 5337 Whitney Bagwell Parkway, Hiram, Georgia, 30141.
You got a contact number?
Absolutely. Contact number is 720-312-6286. Don't forget my lotions, my line of lotions right here as well. We got milk and honey, turmeric and neem. Everything is all natural. And we got the liquid shea butter in. And this is for the ladies with the long fingernails who don't want to dig in the shea butter bowl. We got you right here. We got you right here.
Hey, man, get that number again just in case. Can they order, like if somebody call, could they order something and have it shipped to them?
Absolutely.
Okay,
call and we do shipments as well. Number is 720-312-6286.
And your name is once again?
My name is Shaki. And this is my lovely wife. As you can see right here, that's Yolanda Earth right there. And that's my lovely wife.
All right. Oh, I didn't even get your oils. Let me get your oils and everything right here. Yeah.
Right. You know, we have handmade jewelry as well that can be made upon request. You give us a design and we can have it made for you. Just trying to give our community what they need.
All right, man. And I'm Bakari.
Peace, Bakari.
Peace, bro. One love.
One love.
That's African Market, the Universal Market. It's in Hiram, Georgia. Y'all heard him get an address. I guess since I'm still here. Fine, right here. This is the Wise Driver. Come on up here. This is the Wise Driver. It's find some of his photos right quick. It's one of the top rated driving schools in Georgia, the Wise Driver. See if I can find it for the owner for you, because it is black owned, of course. Here we go. You see students. This is a black owned driving school, veteran owned. This is the owner right here, veteran owned. He must have been an officer because he ain't got no rank on his collar. And I've talked to him, a few times. He's a good brother. He's a good brother. His driving school, you see him everywhere, so his driving school is obviously doing well. How did I do what, Cassandra? And this is he already been on my channel once, but I put him up here again because this is one of my good buddies. Hey, only he's something like you, the guy that owned his spot. For some strange reason, he didn't put no pictures of himself, but I can show if anybody want to send. This is a brother that own this spot right here, Life Day Spa. He's a tether. He's a tether because he's Haitian. He's a tether. This is Life Day Spa. It's a premium day spa located in Powder Springs, Atlanta, Georgia. Offers an experience that is holistic, relaxing, and all about the client's wellness while still offering beauty care as well. We offer massage, facials, body treatment, lash extensions, microblading, waxing, and nail care. We are professional and passionate about offering the best in spa services and personalized care to all our esteemed customers. We have been in business for 6 years, serving our community. See what some of our clients are saying below. I can say this: we had a special going one time where anybody I sent, I could do 3 a month, and I sent them, and they could get their nails done free. But one of the craziest things, man, as much as I love sisters, I do have to say this: I could not get them to go get their nails done free. At this brother shop, say, go mention my name. You don't have to pay any money. But I couldn't get those sisters to go get their nails done for free. I take that back. I got two. I got two out of about, because we did it for 3 months. If they mention your name, they're gonna be free. I got two in 3 months to get their nails done for free. So that was the African Universal Market, Life Day Spa, and the Wise Driver. And of course, we did an excellent interview with David Benton of BeyondDaFence Enterprise, and we made some connections. So if anybody want to connect with them in any way, let me put their information back up. And if y'all didn't get the information off here, just holler at me, and I have the information, and I get it to you. Forecast say I'm simping. See Forecast. She say she expect her coffee. She expect a cup of coffee this week. Forecast. And your netter, like I said. So anybody who watch this, man, y'all hit that thumbs up button. Share the show on any of your other platforms, Facebook or whatever, because you know we want to get the message out, because we want our people to see that there is some of us that out here that's actually trying and want to see us do better, and we're going to keep working hard and thriving. And one thing I forgot, Forecast, I forgot to tell you to put your link in the chat that you started that we're supporting for Lowndes County, Alabama. So send me that link, and I'll send it to them and see what type of, maybe they can help us with that as well. So how I lost my SIM card already. Hey, Bawana Hagaziki, because me and him the same, because he say he'll SIM too. How did I lose my SIM card, man? How? Explain to me how I lost my SIM card. You can't take my card, Forecast. Consider your Forecast trying to take my SIM card. I'm gonna keep simping for Black women, and I'm gonna keep making these and I'm gonna keep making these people on here upset. They can call me a simp all they want, and I'm gonna still talk about how great Black women is, and they're beautiful, and they're strong, and their strength don't bother me, because I'm a man and I can do what a man do, and I don't have those problems with Black women. Not me. You got me confused with that was Jason Whitlock told Sha'Carri Richardson she just need to shut up and run. Shut up and run. Shut up and run. Shut up and run. Oh, I don't know, but sometimes mine don't work. I normally play it on the speaker from the background. That's how I normally play it. I normally play it on the speaker from the from the background. So I think I'm gonna close out with one of their songs. Let me see if I'm gonna close out with. I'm gonna close out with David Ben, glasses in there. I thank everybody for joining me. I want y'all to be black, buy black, think black, love black. Everything else will take care of itself. Peace and one love. This is the artist. This is David Benton. This is the one who we just interviewed. Hold on. Give me a second. I think it ain't.
Celebrate life.
This is the guy we just interviewed. This is his music.
Celebrate life. We celebrate life. We enjoying ourselves. Positive vibes. Glass in the air, I'm making a toast. To the ones close to you that hate you the most. Genocide mind, I'm breaking the code. Streets ain't safe, it breaks in the code. Cold in the street, mean prison to death. Little homie strapped equipped with a vest. Seen dude eyes closed and he died slow. Off the wall, I'm Michael Jackson with the wide nose. Shed so many tears till my eyes swole. Too much to lose, so I gotta stay in grind mode. My eyes open, no blindfold. At a sight, at a mind when the time go. Yeah, mama planted seeds in me to shine mode. Out of the soil of the inner city I rose. Put me down the fence when I was looking for something. Now my call go on with a push of a button. Got some haters in the city that look at me funny. I don't ignore them, I just pray for them. Now I'm gonna be graveyard loyalty in you. Offspring of the king is born his children. Our soldiers front line who joining the mission. Salute with both hands as we form position. Pay attention when elders trying to give you some wisdom. The devil come in the form of men, women, and children. Look in the mirror, see the real opposition itself. Trying to break the chains of live for prison and jail. Looking in heaven, feeling like we are living in hell. Blessed and highly favored, but we ain't living it well. Sour homie, slow motion, smooth as a snail. Swimming in salt water, heart big as a whale. Shout out to my convicts that live in the cell. Correctional officers, please stop giving them hell. Do a time, come home now, better person. I'm still DB, just a little better version. Giving knowledge to the youngsters and let them work it. Acting out on the inside, they really hurting. The devil lurking, trying to hinder you from your purpose. Too many clowns around, this is not a circus. That's why I had to change the scenery. Let's go, a little more green. Feet up on the beach, enjoying the weather. Change your mindset, we can enjoy it together. Work for the most high and work forever. When it get tired, still don't get fired. New house, new car, I'm a new man, a new world. And yeah, I got a few plans. I hold you up in my shot glass. Yeah, dog goblins when the stock crash. Yeah, off the good Wall Street, respecting me now. 6 figures with it, I'm more acceptable now. Got people mad cause I'm not available now. Started out in front of me, they trailing me now. Rolling their eyes at me, yet staring me down. Built the kingdom and I ain't sharing my crown. Made my own deals while I'm still independent. On the cruise ship, soon as we finish the business. Coming down the fence, stop pretending you really when you're really ready from the minute you get it. That the suits to your paradigm, yeah. Like not a spread, it's a marathon. Carry your own way to carry mine, yeah. If you don't proud, not verified. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You don't got my back, go get a spine.
Peace, one love. See y'all later.